Not gonna lie, three videos in one day, that's a new record for me. So unless you've been sleeping under a rock, and I'm a little bit late, even if I'm saying so myself, the New York Giants have finally hired a defensive coordinator. Shane Bowen from the Tennessee Titans worked under Mike Vrabel. That's who the New York Giants have hired as their DC. Now, you already hear people complain. You know, it's not who everybody wanted. It's not who some people wanted. He was not high on my list either. But finally, the New York Giants have hired a DC. I'm pretty sure they'll make the official announcement either later tonight or maybe tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll get this official news coming directly from the New York Giants, but it's already been reported in a lot of places, and it's pretty much a done deal. Shane Bowen. So what do we know about Shane Bowen? Not too much. What do I know about Shane Bowen? Not too much. The one thing that I do know is that he comes from that 3-4 defense. Familiar with the 3-4 defense. So for the people like me that were wondering, okay, what are you going to do with Dexter Lawrence? He's shown that he's been such a good zero tech. What are we going to do with Dexter? We don't have to worry about that at all. At all. As far as this, and again, this is the 2024 new era of football where, yes, you do have your base, but you're mainly playing out of hybrid defenses. So it was never really a factor for the most part. You already know what the strength of Dexter Lawrence is, so you're going to line him up wherever those strengths are, no matter what you think your base is. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Now, the other thing is, because a lot of people did want to move to the 4-3 because we feel like with the personnel that we have, that one mainly being Kayvon Thibodeau, that 4-3 defensive end would suit him, you know, a lot more than what he's been doing as an outside linebacker. Now, I will say this. An outside linebacker in Wink Martindale's system is not the same outside linebacker in almost 90% of the rest of the league. There's quarterback hunters, not, contain the pass rush, not dropping back in coverage as much as you saw Kayvon Thibodeau do it. Not saying that he did it a lot, but it was a lot of times I was yelling at my TV talking about why is Kayvon Thibodeau covering the flat when he could be rushing the quarterback, especially on a known passing down, right? Exactly. So let's talk about Shane Bowen and some of his stats. So we do know this. Very, very strong run defensive stat. Strong run defense. Where had the New York Giants been lacking in the run defense? Now, on the other side of that, very, very bad when it came to the passing defense. Very, very bad. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, this is an outside hire. In previous videos, even in the video I did earlier today talking about the coaching situation, what's going to happen with Jerome Henderson? That's the news that I'm waiting for next. I don't care about the tight end coach who we need to replace. I need to know what's going on with Jerome Henderson. I need to know what's going on with Andre Patterson. Will those guys be retained? Should they be retained? Absolutely, yes, they should be retained. Jerome Henderson needs to be a part of this defense, this coaching staff, especially when you bring in a DC that has a poor passing defense. Jerome Henderson should be absolutely the first guy that Bowen talks to, like, yeah, I absolutely need you here. And matter of fact, not only do I need you here, I'm willing to bump you up to the defensive passing game coordinator, Mr. Jerome Henderson. How do you feel about that? And it might be a hard pill to swallow for Jerome Henderson. He is still under contract, but get that man a bump in pay. Go ahead and give him a bump in his title as well, and let him take care of this passing defense. Let's trust him to do that. Let these two guys work together. Hopefully they have some type of relationship. Hopefully they've spoken to each other before, and it fits. And the big rumor was with a couple of guys that passed on the DC position or job for the New York Giants. I'm saying because the New York Giants had a lot of guys in place already as far as their staff, positional coaches, and they wanted to keep a lot of these guys. And I'm assuming since Shane Bowen is accepting this job, that a lot of these guys are going to stay retained or going to remain with the team. So that's one thing. So let's get into some of these stats. As far as red zone touchdown percentage, Tennessee Titans ranked number 1 in red zone touchdown. They didn't give up many touchdowns in the red zone. So in 2023, they were ranked first. Now he took over, and I believe it was 2021. So when he got there, they were ranked 7th, and they had a dip to 20. In 2021, they were ranked 7th. In 2022, because I do have my handy dandy notebook, you see it. In 2022, they dipped to 15th, middle of the pack, and then in 2023, first. Okay. Third down conversion, right? So when he first got there, they were 6th, then they went to 3rd, and then they went to 17th. So again, is this the ideal home run, knock it out of the park type of hire? No, it's not. That's why so many people are still upset about this pick. But again, there's some pros and cons to the situation. Let's talk about some of the pros with the situation that Brian Daboll is in right now. You hire a DC that has already been a DC before. Brian Daboll has so much hand-holding to do with especially on the offensive side, because he is supposed to be an offensive mind quarterback whisperer, and depending on what's going on in the free agency and the draft, we're going to need Brian Daboll all hands on deck when it comes to whoever this new quarterback is going to be that we draft, and whoever this free agent quarterback is going to be that we pick up in the offseason. Now, no matter what happens, I can already see people. I'm going to drift off a little bit, especially when it comes to the quarterback. I'm going to come right back to Shane Bowen. When we thinking about the quarterback position, obviously you want to draft a quarterback. New York Giants need to draft a first-round quarterback. That's what everybody is saying, including myself. I think that's what we need to do. I saw a rumor talking about, look for the Giants to make a signing in free agency as far as a quarterback. Absolutely. Listen, you have Tommy DeVito, and you have an injured Daniel Jones, and you don't know exactly what's going to go on in the draft. Of course, you're gonna sign a quality veteran quarterback in free agency. That's something that's gonna happen. But I don't think anybody that you sign in free agency is going to stop you or should stop you from drafting a quarterback. And now let's get back to Shane Bowen. So again, he's been a DC before, so he's familiar with calling plays, familiar with the 3-4. Good rush defense, which we were lacking, and it has that connection. So overall, I think that this is a good hire, not a great hire, not a fantastic hire, a good hire because you have a guy with experience. That's one check mark. The New York Giants need to improve in their rush defense. That's another check mark. And then ultimately, the man has a fantastic beard, and instead of being bald, he has a full head of hair. Had to have a little bit of fun with that. But yeah, so Giants fans, the New York Giants have signed or have hired a new defensive coordinator. Is everybody happy? No. Do I expect everybody to be happy? No. It's a bunch of miserable people out there. And no matter what happens, they will continue to be miserable. But it is what it is. I'm miserable right now. When the New York Giants are bad, I'm miserable. But then again, we have a guy in place right now. And all I can do is hope for the best. And hopefully you guys give this man a chance too. I've heard a lot of people already, they're not feeling it at all. They're not feeling it at all. They think it's just a lame duck hire, quote unquote lame duck hire. And it is what it is. But I'm going to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.